Stop trying to control everything and let your life flow. Life flows, but sometimes we try to grab it forcefully so that they can control it. This way they can go down the path we try to go down in vain. When some unforeseen, unexpected thing happens, we are upset and rebel against it. We put all of the blame on something else. We use phrases like, "What have I done to deserve this?" and, "We make ourselves victims that we had predetermined expectations for." As we all know, expectations are incredibly negative. The majority of the time, they don't happen. Because of this, we fall into defeatism and a feeling of being disappointed and broken which takes us to the deepest depths. Life doesn't require order, but confidence in it. Wanting to control life is useless. However, it appears that this is a way of acting on our part, almost out of habit. When everything goes well, great. However, when everything starts going wrong, we make ourselves the victims. We do this instead of baring our claws and encourage ourselves to get over what's hanging over us. Life isn't easy. We have the wrong belief that to be happy everything needs to go well. However, isn't this a little greedy? Everything is made up of good and bad moments. Both serve a purpose, even though some make us feel better than others. However, we have to say that this is a question of perspective. A failure doesn't have to abandon our goals for realizing something that you really enjoy. Far from this, it can be an opportunity to grow, mature, and learn. This includes learning about everything that does us good. A toxic relationship isn't a reason to reject love and denounce it. It could be an opportunity to learn to be more selective. It's also a chance to remove your blindfold as a result of your expectations as soon as possible. Don't swim against the current, flow with life. Are you going to keep beating your head against the wall when life says not here? Don't make yourself the victim of a situation. This is because it might be that what it wants to say is you should go in another direction. Stop blaming other people for most of what they are making you suffer. It could be that you are the one who is letting this happen. It might be you who isn't able to cut people off and distance yourself from people who aren't good for you. You live your life in autopilot. Because of this, you aren't able to capture all that it has to tell you with each step you take. Life gives you specific instructions, even though you don't accept them in the best way. But it gives them to you. Open your eyes. They're there and we force ourselves for relationships that aren't worth the pain. We fill ourselves with complaints instead of marching forward. We bind ourselves in victimization that makes us think of ourselves as victims when it isn't like that. Why don't we start to flow with life? We give up rejecting all of the negative things that come around us and start to see it as a perfect occasion for choosing another direction. Sometimes we're so comfortable in our comfort zone that we lose our perspective. We hate change. However, these are necessary. Are you going to give up the desire to be in control? When difficulties overwhelm your existence, your whole world goes out of control. You like to have everything planned, for days to be routine, and for nothing to depart from what you've foreseen. However, when something happens because it's inevitable, you throw your hands in the air and feel like you are walking a tightrope. Uncertainty is something that you don't like. You think of unchosen changes as a misfortune. Changing your way of seeing situations as everything. Even the most negative things have a positive side. You just have to know how to see it because it can be very subtle. You won't be able to do it if you take the easy way. This is the way of complaining, denying, and rejecting everything that's overwhelming you. Learn how to control your worry and your stress. Flow with life. Let it take you and don't fear what's going to happen. When you least expect it, fantastic things will happen to you that you would have never expected.